Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Leslie and today I have a Queen and Company haul. Guys, I bought a bunch. And there's a theme. So let's check all this out, and then at the end I will make a card with some of it. Okay, so we are just gonna go through all these little things. I did buy a couple different kits. I got a little freebie here, so we'll start with that. Beautiful words here, hello friend, and sending congrats with a little frame there. I can use that on a ton of things. And then I did buy the Get Go Safari kit. I donate a lot of my cards to like Cards for Cubs or Royal Family Kids Camp as heart notes, and so animals are right up there, especially interactive shakers. So I had to buy a couple more kits, especially when they were all on sale, because Queen and Company had like a site-wide 25% off sale, and of course I had to jump on it. So these are the little shaker bits that come with this particular kit. We have they're all kind of the little sprinkles. So we have the green, the gray, the red, yellow, a blue, a white, an orange, and a brown. Perfect for all the different animals that we got going here. And then we have enough of the bodies to make 12 shaker cards. And of course you can buy foam refills, and then you have the plastic acetate that goes on top of them, and then you have this printout that comes with a kit that shows you how to make all the different animals. And do I reference that a lot? Yes, I do. And then of course this is the sentiment stamp set that comes with this particular one. Go get 'em, Tiger, what's up, I could never forget your special day, snappy birthday, thanks a ton. It also has it's a boy, it's a girl, so this would be great for any new babies as well, and so it has a great variety. And then of course their paper, I love their paper because they always have like a very good mix of busy and then some tone on tone paper. And then these are all the dies that come with it. There are so many dies here, you all. So let's go ahead and go through this paper pad because it is beautiful. Of course this is 6x6 paper. And as you can see, it has the tone on tone. So we got some pinks, we have the red with the lovely rainbow on the other side. We have some flowers, and oh, that would be gorgeous just right there together, the busy and the tone on tone blue. Some little dots. We have that yellow tone on tone. That kind of reminds me of like the giraffe would be good. And then this definitely screams alligator for me and would match really, really well as well. There's a few different green ones there showing you that there is a few lines for each of them. And then this has all the little animals on it, which is fantastic. And then this one is a little bit more towards that blue-green color with some more dots. That one, you stare at it too long, you might go a little cross-eyed, but that's okay. You can always use those in smaller doses, and I love that. So this one has a bunch of different leaves on it, and you're seeing a few of them have that gray on it, and you get a few different patterns on each one. So there is 3 sheets of each pattern. So you have a lot of variety there to make several different animals. And of course, all of these shakers could not be shakers as well. That's the great thing about using these. And then of course this one came with that outline die, since all of the tummies are the same, which is really nice because then if you buy your own foam, you can always cut out more as well. So, and then I also got On the Farm kit. Okay, this one I have had on my wish list for a really long time. As you can see, this is a little bit different format PDF because this is an older kit, but it does make all the little animals here: a cow, pig, chicken, horse, tractor, and barn. One of the themes for Royal Family Kids Camp is sheepfold, and so I'm hoping to have a little bit more farming themed-esque, sheep themed as well. I know there's not a sheep in this particular one, but more of those animal themes for cards when it's that year's theme. So that's my goal. So these also came with the little sprinkles. We have yellow, we have red, we have brown, we have that blue, white, orange, gray, and green. And then of course there's enough refills to make 3 of each shaker. These are all different compared to the last one. These are all different shapes, so you get 3 of each. And then of course the acetate is also there. So then I love the puns on this one. I heard it's your birthday. Hey there. Hey girl. Thank you very much. Barn to be wild. I love a good pun, and Queen & Co. definitely delivers. So plus, I love the fonts that they use for their different sentiments. They're all kind of different. And then we, of course, have the pattern paper, which also has that 3 sheets of each. And then these are all the little dies. Oh, you can see the little pig. Oh, I'm excited. And then I did buy the outline dies as well. This just makes it easier for me to make individual shakers, just because of how I make my cards. And then I've also heard that the kids like to tear apart the cards so that they can have the shakers on them. And this just makes it a little bit easier so they don't explode. So outline dies for me are a must. So let's go ahead and flip through this pattern paper as well. Like I said, they usually have a busy on one side and a tone on tone on the other. Ooh, I love that one. Those two are definitely going to be on a card together. That is beautiful. This is giving me very bandana feelings. Of course, you have the cow print, which is just gorgeous. I actually have a stencil that can make me a cow print, so I'll probably be doing a mix of that for sure. And then we have some beautiful diagonals. I love the florals, of course, in here. This kit is very like gender neutral. There's a lot of pattern paper that could go for boys or for girls. And of course you can make the animals boys or girls, just, add a bow. And those are all the different patterns in that one. I love the last one. It kind of has a faux wood grain to it, and that just make a very good base. So this is what all comes on that form kit. And of course I also bought those outline dies, so that's not part of the kit. That is a separate purchase, but I definitely feel like it's worth it to buy the outline dies. So these are all the different colors, and these are all the different things I will be die cutting out. Now these 3 shapes here, this is actually from one of Queen & Co.'s foundation sets that I have, and then I'm making the giraffe from the safari kit. So lots of yellows here. We're kind of making a more gender neutral one, so I did go ahead and emboss this panel with one of my embossing folders from Spellbinders. This is that diamond one that I've showed in lots of different videos, and of course information will be down in the description box below if it is still in stock and you can actually get your hands on it. Just using some tape adhesive for to get this set up. This is just my own sketch. I kept it very simple because I really wanted to showcase that giraffe. So we're just starting with that A2 card base, which is that 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to put a little bit of removable tape inside so that I keep my card set there. And then my next layer is where all those foundation cards came in. So we're going to cut the square in half because I'm going to actually have it so that it's above my rainbow stripes and below my rainbow stripes. I just wanted a little bit extra kind of almost like a mat around that, just so there is a difference between the rainbow stripes and then the embossing panel, and I just felt like that looked really, really cool. So I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the top and on the bottom so that I can line up those scallop edges really well. We're going to press that down, we're going to flip it over, and we'll add more adhesive to the whole thing, but I really want to make sure that it's lining up well. And then we're going to go ahead and add some more adhesive to this whole piece now, our whole little panel here. I'm going to be using a mix of glue and tape adhesive. I just kind of grab what I need or what is easy on hand. I was having a little bit of struggle with my adhesive that day, so I tend to grab the glue a little bit more often. And then I also tend to grab glue when I'm working with embossing folders, just because I want that glue to go kind of on the dots and in between, to make sure that it sticks down really, really well. So I will take an acrylic block and make sure that it stays there for a little bit. I'm not gonna make you watch me watch it for there. We'll put it to the side, and we'll go ahead and get this giraffe shaker card made. And like I said, there is directions that come with your kit if you get this. So I'm going to be referencing those. I am just taking a marker and coloring where the nostrils are going to be, instead of having to cut out a whole nother piece of paper. This just makes it simpler. I'll be using liquid glue for all the little pieces, just so it's easier on me, honestly. We're just going to press everything really well together. So, and then I'm going to use that glue and we're going to press it onto the main head here, lining it up at the bottom. The curve of the nostril snout matches the curve of the bottom of that head. And then I'm going to go ahead and start making the shaker part. So I'm bringing in my foam. I'm removing the outside release paper, and then sticking it on there and then taking out that middle. I tend to do just the outline release paper. I don't do all of the release paper because then I pop the middle out. I do that so it keeps its shape while I line it up with that background piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and put yellow sprinkles in there. And then we're going to remove carefully that top release paper, because those sprinkles do go flying if you bump it. So just be aware. And then we're going to go ahead and line up that acetate very carefully, making sure that it fits really well and everything is a complete seal. Now with those sprinkles, if they end up kind of moving in a point where they're almost like looking at you vertically, sometimes you have to shake it so that it goes back down. Otherwise it kind of tries to poke out through the acetate. Of course, can't actually poke out through the acetate, but it kind of gets stuck. So just FYI, make sure they're all kind of laying down flat. And then we're going to go ahead and take the top piece here, a little bit of liquid glue around that edge, and then we're going to get it stuck on there, lined up. Now we're going to take the body and add it to the back feet, is what this piece is. Making sure it just looks right with those back ridges. And everything lines up well. I'm going to put the little hooves on each little foot. This reminds me a little bit of my Jaded Blossom gnomes, and putting the little feet on there. I'm just seeing which foot or which hoof is correct. I guess you could do either or, but they kind of have a curve to them that make it a little bit more like this is the right one, this is the left one. So just really be looking at your paper that tells you how to do it. These are the front hooves. We're just going to add them to the corner of our shaker here, kind of lining it up like he's sitting down. And then these are his front legs here. So we're just going to line those up on the corner, making sure that they're straight along the bottom and even. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, people love interactive shaker cards, and if it's not perfectly straight, it's fine. Okay, it's fine, guys. We are not going for Hallmark. We are homemade, so it's okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on the face next. So there's a bunch of little dots in here. Some of them are the spots that will go on the giraffe, and then I also did the inside of the ears, and of course their little horn pieces as well. So the inside of the ears, it does have a flat edge-ish. Well, it's a flat curve that lines up with the shape of the head. So you're just looking for that. And then we have some dots here that are the top of his little horns. And then we have a little tuft of hair, which is just so cute. I'm all for it. It gives him a little bit of style. It's like the little, curly hair. I love it. I'm just using my picker tool here. It has that wax end on one side and then the pointy end on the other, just to make sure everything is lining up. So then I'm going to go ahead and kind of figure out where I want all of these spots to go. This is really where you can do you. If there is a specific, like this one goes here, I could not tell that from the directions, and I honestly don't think it matters. Just do you. I put a few on the back legs, and then I put a few throughout the body, and a little bit on the edge of the shaker, just kind of feeling what looked the best to me, and what kind of made sense to my eye and to my brain. So the only one that I would say like maybe has a purpose is that corner one. It's a little bit more like there's only one place to put that one. The rest, you do you kind of thing. Also, if you are really into like puzzles, that kind of stuff, I love these die sets. I feel like I'm putting a puzzle together every time I create with them. It is a lot of die cutting, so you know you got to be into that. But I just feel like they make it really easy with the directions, and they just come together so beautifully, and they're so cool once you're done. And it does a lot of the work for you with the foam tape and everything. I don't have to like bring out my own foam tape and try to line it up and all that kind of stuff. It's already done for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all of these glued down. And through the magic of editing, it's all done. Yay! So let's go ahead and move on to the little eyes. Now you can use the eyes with the shakers. The other fun thing you can do, and I do that with some of mine. I'm not doing it today, but I've done some with animals, shaker animals in the past, is using googly eyes, which just adds some more fun to it. So that's another option for you. If you're not wanting to just use the dots for eyes, you can always use googly eyes. And I love using googly eyes because they just make me happy anyway. So in this one, I am going to use the dots because I just find him so distinguished with them. But in other ones, you will definitely be seeing googly eyes come in. So I am going to go ahead and place his head. And when you place his head, if you notice one of the little dots completely disappeared, it's okay. You can adjust them so that you see them if you really want to. I kind of was moving some dots around here and there because, again, I use liquid glue to make sure that I had a little bit more of a wiggle room. So on the back there, I am going to use the inside of that little body, and I'm going to place it underneath his head so that his head is at the same height as the rest of his body so that he doesn't bend weird on the card. So I just took off the release paper of the back and stuck it on the head in a way that you can't see it. So then we're bringing in his little tail here. I really had to think about giraffes because I was like, this tail kind of looks funny to me. Now, it is how it is for the shaker. But of course, in real life, giraffes' tails go down. I don't think I've ever seen a giraffe tail up. So you could probably put it down to the side or something. But it's okay that it's up. I like it. He's happy to be here. And then that little extra piece is for future cards because it is on the same die as his little fluffy hair. So we don't need it for this particular card. So I'm just going to bring in my tape runner here and get this all set up. We're finishing off this card. Like I said, these dies in the top right-hand corner are just foundation dies from Queen & Co. If you are new to card making, they're a great buy because you get a bundle and then you also get sketches from Queen & Co. where they use those dies to create a few different card sketches for you. And so they all kind of work together. And so I really like picking up a bundle here and there. And then I am using a little bit more of that extra foam from the pieces, that inner pieces, to make sure that the neck doesn't bend as well. I want to get some support on that. So I am adding a little bit of liquid glue on top of those foam pieces just to give me that wiggle room to make sure that I can get my giraffe lined up exactly where I want him. And then we're going to go ahead and place him in the middle here. Now, the goal is that he's kind of near the bottom because I'm going to bring in my sentiment strip and I want him to look kind of like he's sitting on it. So I'm going to bring in the sentiment strips now, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp it just on some white and the sentiment says, "It's not a stretch to say you're amazing." And I absolutely love that. Giraffes are actually one of my favorite animals. They're my favorite part of the zoo when we go. We have to visit the giraffes. We have to feed the giraffes. I've actually, when I was in Africa on a missions trip, we got to go to their local safari zoo area, and we actually got to pet giraffes, and it was fantastic. So as you can see here, I didn't prime my my stamp set very well, and so every time I went to stamp, it was doing something weird. That is user error, not the sentiment stamp. It's because I didn't prime it and then it wasn't quite working for me. So I did bring in my stamping tool here, and it's just going to go so much better. So brand new stamps, really intricate lettering. Bring in your MISTI. Okay, just do it. Bring in your stamp press. It just makes it a lot easier, and it comes out so much better on the first try. And then if it's not perfect, you can always do a second round. And that's what I needed here. I needed the light touch and to do multiple rounds of that light touch to make sure that I wasn't smushing the letters and making it look weird or having some issues with that. So that is what I did. And then I'm going to get that cut out. I did just fussy cut around that. There isn't dies for the sentiments, so you do have to fussy cut it out or put it on a sentiment strip die or something like that. And then I decided I'm just going to kind of figure out where I want this. Now, originally I was thinking he's going to sit on it, but then I decided, nope, I don't like it there. So I decided to go ahead and put it right next to his neck there. And then I'm going to put little pieces of cardstock that I have just to the side of my desk. This is for whenever I need a piece that kind of goes over multiple layers of paper and we need all that, for it to be all even. That's what that pile is for, and that's what we're doing here. So I'm just gonna slip in this little bit of extra paper because that side of that sentiment does go down quite a bit and it was starting to bend, and I don't like that. I want them to all be kind of even, so that evened it out, made it all on the same level there. So we're just going to bring in some enamel dots from Not Too Shabby. This was actually in their Hello July month or quarterly release, and I just felt like these reds just went perfectly with this pattern paper, so I had to bring them in and use them. So we're just going to add a couple to the top of his head here, and then we're going to add one to the bottom left hand corner, and that's all we're going to do. This is my shaker card. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. So if you like this video, hit like. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Let me know down in the comments which animal you want to see me create with next. There's lots to choose from, and I will see you in another video soon. Of course, here's some more if you would like to watch some more. Have a great day. Bye.